Hello, hello. I'm Julia Quinn from the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, Australia, and it's my turn to share with you my projects. Oops, I have a cloud falling off. Featuring the beautiful Adventurous Sky bundle and the Take to the Sky paper. We have seen some amazing projects from Tracy and Mashwari so far this morning. I'm just blown away with their gorgeous, gorgeous projects. So thank you everyone for joining us. My first card I'm sharing with you this morning is my Fun Fold card. And I've just made a double Z fold, taking advantage of the amazing paper to create a card that looks a little bit like the plane is flying. So let's get into it. All of your instructions are everything are in the PDF, of course. So hopefully that gives you all the measurements. One thing I will say, there's my little aeroplane already die cut, ready to go. One thing I will say is that, so the basic card is half of the length of your piece of designer series, cardstock, half the length, and then scored in half and in half. Okay, let me get my bone scorer and just crisp those folds up because that will help making this card. Okay, so in half and in half. And then I've used a window sheet for the flying airplane and scored it at exactly the same measurements. All right. This does need the bone folder to actually fold it really well. Now I have done the score lines on it already, but it's pretty hard to see. But it is really important that you do use your bone folder to give them a really crisp fold. So it goes that way and then that way in a little concertina. There we go. Like that. Okay, so it fits onto your cardstock. So it's exactly the same as the other card. I've actually scrimped here. I ran out of window sheet. But it's exactly the same fold, but then when you put it on the card, it's in the reverse order, okay? Now, the first thing I'm going to do is, just put you aside for a minute, stick on my designer series paper for the back of my card, like this. Oop. Run that across. And pop that on the back of the card, making sure it's up the right way. I've used Boho Blue cardstock, which is the same as the clouds in the background. And then I'm going to put on my window sheet there over the top of that. Okay, and I'm going to use my seal because I think it works really well for camouflaging into, so you can't really see it per se when it's stuck on. Okay, so I'm just going to stick that straight over the top, and you can't really see where I've put the adhesive there, which is why the seal works so well. I don't actually know whether you'd be able to see if you use green glue, okay, but the seal does work really well. And then later on we're going to put some clouds over that to camouflage it as well. Now when we go to put this on, I'm not sticking it down yet. Actually, I will stick that down. No, I won't. Now I know what I'm doing. I'll stamp and stick this one on first, then I'll stick that down, and then I'll put the paper over the top to anchor the end of it. Okay, so let's do our stamping here. I'm using, as I said, Boho Blue, which is the same as the cardstock. And on this bit in the middle, it's actually just a little bit, let me pull that down a bit, just a little bit of embellishment for where you want to write on your card. Pop that down there a little bit too. And my greeting, I'm going to use basic grey ink for, and it's going to be "You're the best, plain and simple." The fun thing I like about this card is the really punny saying, this stamp set, is the really punny sayings. They're so fun. You're the best, plain and simple. Flying by to say hi. You lift me up. I think that's so much fun. Okay, then we'll stick this one onto, oops, I need to clean my surface there. Got an extra cloud, so to camouflage that little smudge, I'll stamp another cloud over the top there. There. And then you can't see that I've made a mess of it. And seeing I've already put adhesive on that, this is going to be fun to pick up, isn't it? Wipe that before I put any more ink anywhere else, and then stick this on the inside of my card in the middle. Okay, then I'm going to fold my card up and then stick down my window sheet here. I'm just going to use my seal all the way across there, because that's all going to get covered up as well, and put my extra piece of Designer Series paper over the top. There we go. And there you have the basics for your card that we can put on our flying plane. Now, I've been inspired by Tracy and Mashwari. This was the aeroplane I originally die cut to stick onto my card. But after seeing them they have such great ideas with changing up the colours of their cards they do. So I've cut out some more die cuts to make the Red Baron. Okay. So I'm still deciding whether I do a grey propeller or a red propeller on my Red Baron. Alright, so I'm going to use my least favourite glue, but it's the best glue for this job, and that is the green glue. It does a really great job sticking these together. Okay, put some across the front there, a little bit on the tyres, and a little bit here. Here we go. And stick you together. Up there, up there. There we go. There we go, the Red Baron. Does that look cool or what? So what colour propeller do we do? A red one? I think I might actually do the grey propeller. The basic grey propeller. Just put a tiny dot there. And pop my propeller on. And then just using one propeller. Then I'm going to put my Red Baron across the middle there. So I'll put a little bit of glue across the middle and stick that on there. There we go. That certainly shows up pretty bright on the card, doesn't it? Okay, now my happy birthday, going to stamp. Hopefully it shows up quite nicely on the Poppy Parade. So I've used Poppy Parade and Cherry Cobbler for my aeroplane. And happy birthday. Yep, that looks pretty good. And then this time I've already cut and die cut my clouds. Didn't you love the way Mashwari coloured in the clouds? Weren't they beautiful? She did such a lovely job. I'm always blown away at her beautiful work. Okay, on the back of my happy birthday, I'm going to put some seal, my favourite, and stick my twine over there, and then over the top of that, some not mini, just ordinary, the edge piece of the dimensionals. I love using edge pieces of the dimensionals when I'm doing this sort of thing, because it holds everything in place very nicely. Here we go. Pop you down there. Happy birthday. And then some clouds. Clouds to cover up any mistakes that we need to cover up. Okay, we're back on. Someone just tried to ring my phone, so I apologise for the pause in transmission. What I was going to say was make sure you don't put any adhesive on the side of the cloud that it goes over where it's not going to be seen, okay? All right, and then we'll put another one just up there, and this time I'm going to use a seal on this one, just on that very edge there. There we go. And then, as I said before, we're going to cover up or disguise, cleverly disguise where we've put all the adhesive there, using some clouds over that window sheet piece. There we go. With any little extra clouds you've got flying around the place. Hang on. There we go, and one last one. So that's my first card done. I'm actually ahead of time, so I might just, there we are. What do we think of the Red Baron? That looks amazing. Thank you, Mashwari and Tracy, for the inspiration. So there's my fun fold card. One with the Julia inspired boring colours, and one with the Tracy and Mashwari exciting colours. Okay, and I'll be back in 15 minutes with my next 2 standard cards for you. See you soon, so you can duck off to the loo, grab a drink of water. I'll see you in a minute. Bye-bye.